A lot of people keep asking me, well, what happened to the Anunnaki? They still here. They can't leave. Especially when we look at these ancient scriptures, and the scriptures are telling you they put their DNA all inside the human vessel. Well, you're not going to just be able to get up and walk away from that. They're still here. And whatever energy they put on the humans, they have to receive it. Once again, the lion and the gazelle are on the same vibratory frequency. Anunnaki, especially if you put your DNA in the human vessel, you are on the same vibratory frequency. If you put out an energy, it must come back to you by law. And I say to you, they're still here. You just don't recognize them. The same thing happened with the male and the female. She mistreated him. And when it came time, she became a sex slave to him. Originally, she knew how to procreate on her own. This is why there's the Parthenon. The Parthenon that showed women how to continue to procreate on their own. Well, what is the Parthenon? Okay, let's break this down etymologically. When we're talking about parthenogenesis, look it up. We're talking about the woman's ability to procreate on her own. Parthen means asexual. Parthen meaning without sex, without stimulation. O meaning of. Genesis meaning creation. Parthenogenesis is creation of birth without sex. Let me just say it like this. Parthenogenesis is creation of a birth without sexual stimulation. That's what it means. So when you start talking about the Parthenon, asexual is that Parthen is telling you dealing with asexual. And Parthenon was an actual place where women used to go to learn how to procreate without sex or without fertilization. And when you're talking about the most known parthenogenic birth, well, that would be that being that y'all know of as Jesus. Jesus was supposedly an asexual birth. Would Mary have had access to the Parthenon? Well, it was open around the time of Jesus's birth. And who shut the Parthenon down? Well, a Christian organization. I need to get back into this because I need y'all to understand that religions were created for the purpose of subjugating the woman. All religions are patriarchal. So I talked to you about the matriarchy, meaning mother, matriarchy, where the woman ruled. Patriarchy is pa for paternal. Patriarchy is where the male took her over. Once again, I say she was not a victim because she put an energy on him. He was her sex slave. She had the ability to procreate on her own via parthenogenesis. But once she created him, well, he became a tool. She didn't have to work so hard and use her mind in order to procreate. She could use him, this new tool. It's kind of like, listen, pay attention now, people in the back of the room. It's like a calculator. You get a calculator, because we used to do all these highly mathematical equations in our mind. We could do that in our mind. Square root is cube root, and all. We could do that in our minds. But with the inventor of the calculator, it was like, wait a minute. What's 5 times 6 again? 5 times 6 equals. Yeah. You don't have to keep it up here. You don't have to learn how to use your mind to create or gain that knowledge. Okay. And some of y'all looking at me like, what you mean he was a tool? Okay. Some of y'all remember we used to know all kind of phone numbers up here in our mind. We knew grandmama phone number, we knew mama work number, we knew mama other job number, we knew the house number, we knew the school's number, we could memorize. We had that up here in our head. But right now, when this cell phone comes into the cell phone, some of y'all will be lucky if you know 3 numbers by heart, much less grandmama them, uncle them, auntie. You don't know barely your own number. That's because of the cell phone, this technology. You've forgotten how to use your mind. Okay, same thing with her when she forgot how to procreate on her own because she has no knowledge of self. So she invented him. He was a sex slave. No, he was a helpmate diva. He was a slave. It's very similar to how when you go in history, you will see that the Albion so-called white people, they were slaves. They was indentured servants. Please go do your research. They was full-fledged slaves. And then there was laws keeping the original people, the so-called Indians, where they was telling them you can't own any slaves anymore. They say you can't own any Christians because they were full-fledged slaves. Go do your research. They want to tell you, oh, now the white people was indentured servants. Well, no, they were slaves. It's like men. They was full-fledged slaves to the woman originally. And this is why she's getting a return of energy whereby she became the slave to him. When did this happen? We're going to start right back at 1000 BC. Right around that time period. See, they're not telling you about all the women who used to rule Egypt. They don't tell you about the women. No, because they want to make it all, it was men. No, there were women who ruled in Egypt. Go do your homework. Why are they not telling you about them? Because, once again, she was conquered. And when a woman or when a being, people are conquered, well, then the people who conquered them, they're going to rewrite the history. So 1000 BC, the men started to take on the masonry and all that. They started to gain knowledge about who she was and the makeup of this third dimension and why she had so much power. And then it came, we started getting into that 0 time, so-called Christ. And then we get into 300 AD. And we've got all these different religions coming into order. Christianity, Islam, you name it, Judaism, all of these. All your major religions are created by melanated men. They're all patriarchal. And their purpose was to subjugate the woman, to take away her power. And then as you get into this Bible with these scriptures that were written by the sibyls and oracles, well, they start rewriting them. And I'm going to go into a few of them so we can understand this game about how you can see they were rewritten.